Hey, Daniel here from the songwriting team and Make Pop Music. If you're in our Make Pop Music Facebook group, then you noticed that we started to do some daily content things in there. On Saturdays, we give away drum samples and different things like that. What's Up Wednesdays, where everybody kind of checks in, says what they're working on. And then Thursdays, we're doing tutorials. So we'll probably try to do more than one tutorial a week, but you can definitely expect one on Thursdays. So if you're not in the group, check that out. There's a link in the description. So today's video, I'm going to try to keep it as short as possible here, but we did a long one earlier in the week, so I'm going to keep this one to the point. How to effectively use social media content for your music career. And this is a big topic, and there's a lot to it, but I've just started to notice some of my other colleagues kind of ranting about this and kind of calling out artists about, their Instagram just being all selfies or something, or, things like that, where they're not really creating valuable content or don't really have a content strategy. They're more so just using social media like regular people do. And as artists, I'd like to think that most of us are more creative than that. We can do some cool things. The reason that another reason I'm also making this video is because I've noticed it myself. It's interesting because I talk to a lot of artists, a lot of clients, and it's the biggest thing I get is I don't really have enough time to do all this content. Yet I watch their stuff, and every day they have the time to Instagram story them going on a hike or Snapchatting their dinner. So I find it hard to believe that it's a time thing. I think they have the time to make content. I think it's more of an issue of they're not quite sure what to do, and that's okay. We're gonna talk about that. So that's kind of a quick preview to the video here. I made some slides that I'm going to go through. So let's get rolling on this. So what we're going to talk about in this video, the most common issues that I see with music artists using social media. I kind of just talked about some of those. Determining what you're trying to accomplish with your social media use, with your content. Going to chat a little bit about becoming an entertainment brand and why that's important. And also we're going to look at what kind of content is working best for musicians. So let's dive in. The most common problems I see, basically what I just mentioned, artists are using social media more just like how normal people do. Here's a picture of my pet, here's me going on a hike. And that's fine, but it has to be a mix. That's in general not that interesting. It may be interesting to your current fans that want to peek into your life. It's interesting for your mom or your family to keep up with what you're doing. But if it's just pictures of your pets and you going hiking, it shows me that you're putting a lot of time into social media, but you're kind of just using it like any average person. I would encourage you to, and we'll go through some of this over the video, encourage you to be a little bit more creative with it. If you have the time to go on a hike and Instagram it the whole time, then you have time to sit down and make a cool cover or something. So that's really the kind of issue I see. Again, boring content with lack of story. It's just kind of yada yada everyday things. Here's me eating dinner, and that's just not that exciting. It's not the problem is it's not going to attract a lot of new people. Now on the flip side, there's some content artists I see that are too promotional. So everything is me, go download this, go do this, and it doesn't really add any value to the viewer. Why? Why do they need to download it? What does it do for them? So really, again, just there's no hook to get people interesting. No hook to get people interested. Take a sip of water there. So moving on. So one of the big things is determining, what are you trying to accomplish with your content? And let's look at some of those things. In most instances, you're looking to gain new followers. So that goes back to having that hooky content that really attracts new people. Again, the pictures of the hiking and the pets, unless you're an outdoor blog, and you're showing a bunch of hiking, or unless you're a pet blog and you're showing a bunch of pictures of cute dogs, like that doesn't do anything for your music career necessarily. So what kind of content can you create that will potentially have some virality to it? And someone comes across and says, oh my gosh, you see that video on Facebook? Yeah, this blah 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 artist made it, and then that attracts a new fan. That then you can build a long-term relationship and let them know about your dog and let them into your life a little bit. That's cool. But remember that as musicians, there's so much good music out there. Like, there's no problem with people finding good music. There's good music that is coming out every day. So I think with the saturation of the market, you got to really become an entertainer. You got to entertain people. Your content should entertain and hook them in. And then most importantly, at the end of this, once you've been building a long-term relationship with fans, having some kind of call to action, then you can say, hey, download this. But if you just come out of the gate with pet pictures and hiking, and then once a year when you release a record, you're like, here's my new record, it's done, here, download it, buy it, me, then you wonder like, oh, why is no one paying attention? It's like, because they haven't been paying attention the whole time. You can't expect them to, oh, now all of a sudden, since you have this thing that you want them to have, they should have it. It's a long-term game. It's building the relationship and entertaining them the entire way, so that when you do release that record or whatever your big project is once a year, or a single a couple times a year, however your strategy is, those eyes will be there. They're already watching you every day, and it's new people. If you notice, just look through. If you look at like the views and likes on your Instagram, for example, your Instagram stories or something like that. Is it just a bunch of your friends? Like, you gotta look at that. Is it just the same 100 friends that you know and hang out with all the time liking your stuff? Like that doesn't do anything. That's using social media how normal people use it. So, but once you start getting some of that content out that people care about, now all of a sudden you're noticing all these new names and your numbers are going up, and that's when you know it's working. So let's move on from that. That kind of segues into the next thing. What kind of content has been working? Like I said, I think most of the time it's not that artists don't have the time to make good content. I think it's a lack of ideas, and that's okay. But remember that creativity wins, man. The ones who make the creative content outside of their music, they're just in general creative people. They're going to get the attention. They should. They're an entertainment brand. So I'm going to just kind of go over some examples that I've seen work. Not all of these are going to be a thing for you. It's about finding and experimenting. I'd rather see an artist do a video every day and they're, maybe butchering them, but at least they're trying and seeing what works. It's easy to take a picture of dinner. It's harder to, make good content. And I've seen a lot of people, this is outside of the music world, but I have a friend who's a pretty well-known YouTuber, does a really great job on it, and he's one of the only people on YouTube that actually like scripts an entire video, like writes it out, has his actors do it, films it, edits it every day. The people wonder like, oh, how did that guy get so big? Well, I mean, that's he put in the work. I mean, he's not only creative, but he literally scripted a video, filmed it, and shot it, edited it every day for a number of years. And after a while, I think, gosh, maybe I'd have to look it up. 5 or 6 years into him doing YouTube, he finally had that one piece of content that went viral, changed his life. So that can apply to anyone. There's a lot of great music examples as well. Let's just talk about some. Like, I know a lot of artists don't want to do cover songs. You don't have to. That's fine. But I think interesting and unique versions of cover songs are so cool. It to me it allows you to kind of express yourself as an artist in some different ways. Try some things that are out of the norm for you, and it's really cool. Entertainment content for your current fans. The other big thing is people are searching for songs. So it's also a good kind of discovery content as well for people to say, oh, did you see that crazy? Look at like what's the band? I think they're called. I mean, there's obviously a gazillion examples of people doing covers on YouTube who are now like massive stars. But I love that group. I want to say they're Walk Off the Earth, maybe. Big group, 5, 6 people, and they all, they just do interesting covers. I'm sure you've seen it because their stuff goes viral all the time. You have kids like the younger crowd right now, younger singers like I think his name is Jacob Sartorius or something. He uses that Musically platform, which is a little karaoke app, lip sync app that kids are into. But he built up a bunch of followers on it, and then from there launched an original music career. So there's a lot of ways to do that. But anyway, interesting, unique versions of cover songs I still think are great. I don't know why everybody thinks that's over. It's really not, because you still see those you still see those videos pop up in your Facebook feed of artists going viral with that. So until you don't ever see any more of those, it isn't over. Other types of entertainment, you have people that, I'm not saying everybody has to be a comedian, but I'm just, again, rolling out what I've seen works. There's a lot of like hip hop guys who do really funny like comedy videos, like that rapper, I'm sorry, I'm blanking on his name, but he does like impressions of other rappers, and it's just so funny, and that's viral, and then people realize, oh, this kid can actually rap, and I love his original music. And he's built up. I've watched his fan base grow like crazy. You have other people that are vloggers doing vlogging and actually sharing their story, which kind of goes into that next point. But vlogging, like, the problem with vlogging is most people just kind of do it here and there. They're like, oh, I released a vlog, and then 2 months later released a vlog. It's like, well, the real vloggers, if you look at the successful ones, the Roman Atwoods and people like that, they really do it every day. And I'm not saying you have to do it every day. Not every day is exciting, but consistency is key with the vlogging, because then people just want to watch, what you're doing and what you're working on. And that's a cooler way, I think, to let people into your life than just, a picture of your pet and a picture of you going to Starbucks, once a day. If you're already doing that, I mean, besides some video editing, you're already kind of on your way to vlogging. So make it more interesting, get more creative, put some more production value into it. Don't necessarily take the easy way out. So with that, telling your story, obviously this is a big one. Get some water here. Because we see this on, shows like American Idol and The Voice. They always want to talk about the ones with the stories, because that's a hooking point. People are interested in that, like, oh, this, kid came from the ghetto, or this kid, performed his first concert for Elton John or something at, I don't know, whatever, just random stuff. This person is transgender, and here's their struggles. And there's so many. I mean, we all have a story. Like, if you're in music, you probably got a story. I think a lot of people, they just don't think their story is interesting, if they didn't have a drug addiction or something dramatic. And it doesn't have to be that. I mean, I think people just want to know kind of why you're there making music. The mysterious thing to me only works if you're, a major label artist, being mysterious, and people are like, ooh, what's his deal? It has some sex appeal. But for an independent artist, man, mystery is just not a thing. It just really means you're a ghost. There's a difference between being mysterious and just being a ghost. So tell your story. Do some story time. It could be just breaking down every, all 10 songs on your album and telling the story behind them. Doing live streams of that. Like, you'd be surprised. People are interested. They're more interested in that than watching, a picture of you hiking, So try that out. Expanding your brand outside of your music using collaborations. And this is a big one I see a lot of the younger artists really doing well with this, linking up with clothing brands. Maybe they're doing like reviews on a fidget spinner or something. This is how you're going to bring in income, man. Like, this is how you wonder, like, oh, how do the the pretty people on Instagram with the million followers make so much money. That's how. If it's the pretty girl, a lipstick company is going to come to her and say, "Hey, listen, we'll pay you $5,000 to post." I mean, this is how everybody's like, "How does Kim Kardashian? She doesn't have talent. How does she make money?" Well, that's how she makes money. She has attention. And you don't have to be a pretty girl. Obviously, if you're an awesome guitar player, you can have a guitar company or pick company or whatever say, "Oh, you're an awesome guitar player with 500,000 followers. We'll pay you, $2,000 if you do a review of our guitar or our amp or whatever." Again, you're becoming an entertainment brand. All you're trying to do is get the eyes, get the attention. Attention is currency, and you don't necessarily have to sell yourself out to do that. Do what interests you. If you're not a comedian, don't try it. If you're not funny, don't try to do comedy just because it's on this list. Just do some stuff that's interesting to you and experiment. Make the video. If it ends up terrible, like you don't have to upload it. We all make videos that at the end of it we're just like, "Oh man, I'm not going to upload it." This might be one. No, I'm just kidding. But that's just some things to look into. I mean, that's where your income streams, sorry, that can be a new income stream for you, is what I'm trying to say. So, kind of along the same lines, guest blogging, offering expertise. If you're a artist that has experience with like touring, shoot, hit up some of the big, like blogs, or big companies that blogs, like Lander has a big blog, and Splice, and I'm totally blank, like CD Baby, Sonic Biz, just people with blogs like that, and offer some expertise. Just get your name out there, build your face, get your face out there, and builds an audience. I've seen that work really cool for some artists. And then just coming up with some interesting like fan engagement strategies. This could be like, for example, one of our clients does, I think maybe every Friday, one day a week, he does like a live stream and just calls random fans. He says, "Hey, if you want to just call and chat, put your number in," and these girls put their number in, and he calls and chats, and they talk about food and music and just kind of hang out on this live stream, and just cool for fan engagement. Also, like competitions are really fun, contests, fan art, or just wacky stuff, whatever you can think of. There's a lot of examples, but the point is you got to get creative with the content. And if you can't do it every day, that's cool, but try to do it more often than just like, you release an album once a year and then the rest of the time you're just taking photos of stuff no one cares about. Try to set a goal. Maybe you can just do one a month. But another example, I'm thinking about it, speaking of releasing albums, that came out just within the past couple days, the rock band Queens of the Stone Age, who's one of my favorites, finally is releasing a new album, which I'm really pumped about. But so instead of everybody else would be like, "Hi guys, I'm releasing an album. Here it is, check it out." They scripted and created, probably hired a crew to help, or some friends, but they created this video about how the lead singer is hooked up to like a lie detector test, and they're being kind of silly, like, he's lying about like the name of the album and stuff, and they're kind of playing a little bit from the album on it, and it's just entertaining. They took the extra step of like making it an entertaining video to announce their album versus just taking the easy way out and saying, writing a Facebook status, "Hey guys, I made an album, it's coming out in a week." Like, dude, that just gets dropped to the bottom of the list. No one cares, you and everyone else. But a video of a guy hooked up to a lie detector test, and it's color graded really dramatically. They put the effort into making content. That is the point. Now I'm just kind of over talking it, but listen, if you need some content ideas, if you're just not sure where to start, feel free to reach out to us, our production team, the songwriting team. You can find us at songwritingteam.com. We can help you put together a custom content campaign and just get you moving in the right direction. So thanks for watching this video. Thanks to all the people in the group who are participating in this new Thursday tutorial day. We appreciate it, and we'll see you again next week. Thanks for watching.